Hi, everybody. Namaste. I'm here at the absolutely beautiful Indra Yoga Studio in Mataram, Lombok. I'm just going to walk out front so you can see the studio a little bit. They've got bunting up because Indonesian Independence Day is just in a few days. And this is a really beautiful space. And I just thought I'd go live before I'm all set up, because I wanted to show you a few things about this studio. One is that Indra has had absolutely beautiful paintings painted. If you looked at our Instagram stories the other day, yesterday, you might have seen Jane standing in front of this cool wall. And right now, it's going to be a little bit crazy for the first couple minutes because Indra has just been teaching a kids yoga class. And they are just wrapping up and doing a photo in front of another wall that they've got. And so I'm walking up the stairs, the top floor, the top studio, which is where I'm going to do class today. Hope you're enjoying this new lens I got. It's our new wide-angle lens, so you can have a little view from the top floor of the studio. Looks out on Mataram. And then, look at all these kids' shoes. So awesome, there's so many kids here. I'm gonna just set up in the studio, and we're gonna have some noise of some kids as they finish up and get their shoes on and get out of here. You might be able to hear them. I'm gonna go show you how many kids Indra's got here for class this morning. Look at everybody. They've been having such a good time. Selamat pagi.
Selamat pagi. Tolong yang pulang jam 11 dibawa pulang dulu pakai mobilnya sama.
So you got someone here?
Yeah, I'm going to Facebook Live my class.
Oh,
yeah. Hi. Hey, Internet. This is another one of the beautiful walls here. This is where all the kids were just doing their photo with Indra and everybody after class. And this is the view at the front of the studio. And then we're going to have some yoga. All right, so I've been teaching some back bends here and primarily focusing on how to help prevent lower back pain. That work, I'm going to go back out front for a minute because the kids are, kids. That work combined with a video that Noah Mazé posted that was a flashback video to a class that he was doing at the old Yoga Mazé studio in LA that involved some Ustrasana work. That's inspired me for today's class. So get ready for some back bends. But it's not going to be a crazy backbending class. I'm going to help us open our bodies, prepare our bodies, and I think I'm going to do class in front of this wall because what an amazing backdrop. There's a nice breeze out here. The sun is not on the balcony, so I'm going to grab a mat. I'm going to pull the mat outside. I'm like giving you play-by-play of what I'm doing. So, mat's down. Let's put the camera down. Camera, which of course is really a phone. So yeah, I've been promising some tech upgrades. You'll see, where is it? There. My finger looks crazy because I've got a wide-angle lens on, and Om is backwards. So I'm going to see if I can do the old mirroring trick this time so that what you're seeing is what I'm saying. What I'll be doing is actually the same side as you, so I'll be doing, when I'm doing the right side, I'm going to say left, because that's what it's going to look like to you in the camera. I've just got to get one more thing, and then I think we're ready for class. So I'm going to go grab the chimes, the bells, so that I can end us in Shavasana when it's time. See you in a second. Thanks for joining me today. I'm hoping that the wind isn't too bad on the microphone. There's a bit of a breeze, but let me see if I can probably put something over the mic that will help protect it from the breeze. So let's see how that goes as a wind break. Can you still hear me? I hope you can still hear me. Okay, let's start. Namaste. Thanks for being here. Since you're watching this on my Facebook page, you know my name's Stephen Ewashkiw. Right now, Jane and I are on Lombok, one of Indonesia's more than 10,000 islands. This is our first time being on Lombok. We've been on a couple of the islands near here. Bali is the closest big island. It's about 35 kilometers away from the coast here, which is about 4 kilometers away. We've also been to Nusa Penida, which is a tiny island between Bali and Lombok. But this is our first time on Lombok. It's really so nice to be here. We're relaxing, we're enjoying yoga here at Indra's beautiful studio. We're going to do some trekking up to an active volcano. Yeah, so those of you who are watching, if there are sound problems, I think I'm close enough to the camera that I can see your comments. So if the sound isn't working, or if the wind gets really crazy and it's like making a terrible racket, let me know and I can move inside once the kids have gone downstairs and gone back to school. So today we're going to work on Ustrasana, and let's get started. Sit up tall. Relax your shoulders. Touch the front of your ribs. Move your ribs back a little bit. Bring your hands to your heart. Anjali Mudra. And close your eyes. Very slightly lower your chin. So it's not lifting, but also so it's not dropping towards your chest. Keep it there as you lengthen through the back of your neck. That's going to be important in back bends because we want you to be very aware of what's happening in your neck so that you're not hyperextending in your neck, you're not putting extra pressure or undue pressure on the discs between your vertebrae and your cervical spine. Steady your breath. Engage your Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha. Begin Ujjayi Pranayama. If you're newer to yoga and those words sound like a crazy different language, well, they are. They're Sanskrit. I can help you a little bit with that. Tone your pelvic floor. Engage the bottom of your pelvis. It's a little like you were trying to stop peeing, but not as active as that. That's really very shorthand for what we call Mula Bandha, root lock. Uddiyana Bandha happens around your belly button area. Draw your belly in and up slightly. Uddiyana Bandha is the upward rising lock. So engage the bottom of your pelvis a little. Draw your belly in and up a little. The other thing I said was Ujjayi. That means victorious, uplifting breath, and it's going to help us as we lift ourselves up, back, into back bends. Tone the size of your throat. Breathe through your nose. Work to make your inhale and exhale the same length as each other. Let's sing one Om together. Exhale fully. Inhale. Bow your chin. Lower your hands. Lift your chin. Open your eyes. Thanks for joining me today. Come into Vajrasana. Sit on your heels. Bring your knees to the ground, place your feet flat. Sit on your heels. Sit up tall. The variation of Ustrasana we're going to work towards is going to need you to have your shoulders open, not just have your chest open. All variations of Ustrasana need shoulders open, but particularly the version we're going to work towards is going to demand that. So, let's do a little shoulder opener here. Stretch your right arm out in front of you. I promised I would say the mirror ring, so stretch your left arm out in front of you. Switch arms. Left arm. Kiri is Indonesian for left. Grab the outside of your left arm with your right hand, pull your arm across your body, and then really stretch out through your arm and around through your upper back some. Pull your left arm into your chest. Release. Stretch your right arm out. Hold the outside of your right arm with your left hand and pull your arm across your body. Stretch out through your right arm, round through your back a little, and pull your arm into your chest. Release. Stretch your left arm up. Bend your elbow, place your hand behind your head or between your shoulders. Grab your left elbow with your right hand and move your left elbow more to the center of your body. Push down with your hand to move your arm down into your shoulder joint more. Push your hand into the back of your back. Push your head back into your arm. And then release your right arm. Turn your palm towards the wall behind you. Reach back, reach back, reach back. Bend your elbow. Either grab your shirt or interlace your fingers behind you. Or grab your fingers. It's not really an interlace. It's more like this. Pull your elbows towards each other. Remember when we touched the front of our ribs a minute ago, move the front of your ribs back. Sit up tall. Push down through your feet. Hug your outer ankles in. Tighten up your butt. Sit up tall. Steady your breath. Ujjayi pranayama. Release your arms. Stretch your right arm up. Bend your elbow, place your hand between your shoulder blades or behind your head. With your left hand, grab your right elbow, and then move your elbow more towards the center of your body. Push down with your left hand to help move your upper arm bone down into your shoulder joint. Push your hand into your back, push your head into your arm. Release your left arm, turn your palm back. Reach way back, and then bend your elbow, grab your fingers, or hold your shirt with both hands. This is Gomukhasana arms. Pull your elbows towards each other. Move the front of your ribs back a little. Push your feet down, hug your outer ankles in, tighten up your butt, and sit up tall. Steady your breath. Release your arms. Touch the ground. Move your feet a little bit wider than your hips. Sit between your heels, Virasana. If you can't sit on the ground between your heels, you can grab a yoga block or a thick book. Recently, one of my friends was using Light on Yoga as a prop. That's a great book to use as a prop. I think Mr. Anger would think that was fantastic. Virasana, push your toes down, hug your outer ankles in, sit up tall. Interlace your fingers out in front of you and push your hands away from you. Stretch your arms up. Stretch up and push down through your pelvis, push down through your toes. Move your hands back a little more. Release your hands. Interlace your fingers again, do the natural way, but then change the clasp so it's the unnatural way for you. Push your hands away from you. Stretch up. Push your hands up towards the ceiling. Pull the baby finger side down. Push the index finger side up so that your hands are flat towards the ceiling. Move the front of your ribs back. Push your toes down. Hug your outer ankles in. Push up through your hands. Stretch up through your arms. And move your hands back a little more. Release your hands. Walk your hands out in front of you. Lean forward. Lift your butt up. Walk your knees back. Adho Mukha your Svanasana. Tuck your toes. Keep your knees bent for the first down dog. Push through your hands. Lift up through your pelvis. Spread your fingers. Push your index knuckles down. Push your thumbs, index fingers down. Turn the inside of your elbows forward. Push forward with your hands. Move your chest back. Lift your pelvis up. Stretch down through your heels. You can straighten your legs now if that feels good, but you don't have to be in a rush. My hamstrings are a little tight because this is my first practice of the day. It's morning here. Selamat pagi is good morning, sort of, in Bahasa, Indonesian. Lift your right leg up. Come up to your left fingertips. Look forward. Come up to your right fingertips. I promised you I would mirror. This is really hard for me, so come back to down dog and I'll try that again. It's hard to mirror when I'm doing the same side as you have to say the other side. So lift your left leg up. Come to your right fingertips. Look forward. Come to your left fingertips. Step your left leg forward. Come to a lunge with your fingertips on the ground. Have your left knee over top of your left ankle. Be on your fingertips on both hands. Bring your right knee down to the ground. Low lunge. Push down through your feet. Push down through your right knee. Bring your hands to your pelvis. Now, move the front of your hips back a little. Tuck your tailbone underneath you. Do a little posterior tilt of the pelvis. Keep that. Push your pelvis down and forward. This is to help stretch one of your psoas muscles. And to help stretch the bigger of your psoas muscles, shift your pelvis back. Bring your fingertips to the ground. If you placed your right foot flat, tuck your toes under. Straighten your right knee. Straighten your right leg. Push down through your feet, bring your hands to your hips, lift your torso. Stretch your arms up. Hold your right wrist with your left hand. Curl to the left. Stretch back through your right hip. Stretch long through your whole right side. I call this crescent because it's like doing crescent pose in your upper body, that standing side bend in Ustrasana. But it's also like crescent pose, which is a modified warrior one. We have two poses in yoga we call crescent. I'm just trying to distract you because you're still here. Stretch back through your right leg, right hip. Stretch long through your right side. Oh, psoas stretch, love it. Come up to center. Bring your hands down to the ground. Bend your right knee. Step forward. Step your left leg back. Come to the lunge. Have your right knee over your right ankle. Come to your fingertips on your hands. Lower your left knee down to the ground. Push down through your left knee, right foot. Bring your hands to your hips. And do that same posterior tilt of the pelvis. Move the front of your hips back. Tuck your tailbone underneath you so you round your back a little bit. So you move your butt down and forward slightly. Keep that. Push your pelvis down and forward. So this is to help stretch the iliopsoas muscle, which is the smaller of your psoas muscles. Psoas muscles we use to walk, to bend our knees, to do a lot of things, really. We want to lengthen them here. So we're going to need them long for back bends for Ustrasana. Psoas major is a much longer of the psoas muscles. We're going to stretch that now. Bring your fingertips down to the ground. If you placed your left foot flat, tuck your toes under, lift your left knee, straighten your left leg. Push down through your feet, bring your hands to your pelvis, lift your torso. Stretch your arms up. Hold your left wrist with your right hand. Curl to the right. Stretch back through your left hip and stretch long through your left side. And breathe. Come back up to center. Bring your hands down to the ground. Bend your left knee. Step forward. Uttanasana. Fold over your legs. Keep your knees bent. Rest your chest on your legs. Relax your neck. And breathe. Come to your Ujjayi. Tone your pelvic floor, Mula Bandha, draw your belly in and up slightly, Uddiyana Bandha, tone your throat and steady your breath. Ujjayi Pranayama. Place your hands flat, step back to all fours, hands and knees. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see it a little bit better. Have your knees just a little bit behind your pelvis. Bring your shoulders over your wrists so your arms are straight up and down. I like to call this one fire hydrant pose. It's a good one for the camera. It's a good one for your butt muscles, your glutes. Lift your right knee out to the side. Flex your foot. Lift your knee so your leg is parallel to the ground if you can. So your thigh is parallel to the ground. Do your best. Tighten up your butt to lift it a little higher. And then straighten your leg. See, get to the camera. Foot right into the camera. Now the tendency here is to drop your left side. Straighten your left arm. Work to bring your shoulders over your wrist as much as you can. Keep your leg lifting. Bend your knee. Lift your knee so your thigh is parallel to the ground. Then turn your knee so that your foot is up towards the ceiling. Point your toes. Engage your hamstrings. Bring your heel towards your butt. Lift your knee higher. Bring your heel towards your butt. Yeah, we're going to need our hamstrings working when we do some back bending. Now, fire hydrant pose. Knee out to the side. Flex your foot. Work to lift your knee as high as your hip. Straighten your left arm. Straighten your right leg. Tighten up your butt to lift it higher. Back to the hamstring. Point your knee down, point your toes, lift your knee up, bring your heel to your butt. Lift your knee higher, bring your heel to your butt. One more of that. Fire hydrant, knee to the side. Work to bring your knee as high as your hip. Straighten your leg, stretch your right leg out. Hamstring curl, knee down, point your toes, lift your knee, bring your heel to your butt. Lift your knee, bring your heel to your butt. Great thing about our bodies is we only have two sides, so we're almost done, halfway. Bring your right knee down, and turn back to the camera so you get a slightly different view. Lift your left knee. Flex your foot. Notice how if you can see the camera, notice how my left knee is dropping down. That's because my butt doesn't want to work. Tighten up your butt, lift your knee higher. Stretch it out to the side, not forward, out to the side. Work to bring your shoulders over your wrists. It's really harder here when we do this. Straighten your left leg. My tendency is to lean, maybe bend my right arm. Instead, work to bring your shoulders over your wrists, arms straight. Tighten up your butt, keep lifting your leg. Bend your knee, Turn your knee down, lift your knee up, point your toes, and hamstring curl. Turn sideways so you know what I'm doing. Lift your knee, bring your heel to your butt. Lift your knee, bring your heel to your butt. Go back to fire hydrant, knee out to the side, straight out, straighten your leg. Shoulders over your wrists, tighten up your butt, lift your heel. Bend your knee, point your knee down, point your toes. Hamstring curl, heel to butt. Lift your knee, heel to butt. Fire hydrant, last one. Straighten your leg. Shoulders over your wrists, both arms straight. Hamstring curl. Lift your knee, point your toes, heel to butt. Lift your knee, point your toes, heel to butt. Come to your hands and knees. We don't just want to stretch our psoas muscles, we want to strengthen them as well and engage our abdominal muscles. So, hands and knees, Vyagrasana. Stretch your left arm out, stretch your right leg back. Bring your elbow and knee to touch underneath you. Round your back, push through your right hand, draw your belly in and up. Inhale, stretch out. Exhale, draw in. Inhale, stretch out. Exhale, draw in. Inhale, stretch out. Exhale, draw in. One more. Inhale, stretch out. Exhale, draw in. Hand to the ground, knee to the ground. Second side. Stretch your right arm out. Stretch your left leg back. Bend your elbow, bend your knee, bring them to touch underneath you. Push through your left hand, draw your belly in. Inhale to stretch out. Exhale, draw in. Vyagrasana, Tiger Pose. Inhale, stretch out. Exhale, draw in. Inhale, stretch out. Exhale, draw in. Last one. Inhale, stretch out. Exhale, draw in. Hands down, knee down. Virasana. Sit between your heels or grab your prop again and sit on your prop. Sit up tall. Steady your breath. Push your toes down. Hug your outer ankles in. Sometimes when I do Ustrasana, or where we're going with this is towards Ustrasana back bend, drop backs. Sometimes when I teach this in workshops, I haven't been doing very much of the practice because I'm teaching, and I demo an Ustrasana drop back, and then my quads get filled with lactic acid and give me lots of pain for days. That's because when I'm teaching, I haven't been doing all of the preparation work that my students have been doing. So today, because I'm practicing with you, I'm making sure that we're getting the work in to prep us for the big work of doing Ustrasana and hopefully doing our best to curl back. That means we gotta do some quad stretches. My favorite quad stretch though is Twisted Monkey. And so let's do some Twisted Monkey. Come to your hands and knees again. Stretch your left leg up and back. Come to your fingertips. Step your left foot forward so that your left ankle is under your left knee. Walk your right knee back a little. Place your right hand flat on the mat. Turn it out very slightly. Bend your right knee and point your toes. I'm going to turn sideways a bit so you can see this a little better. So bend your right knee, point your toes. Stretch your left arm up, look up. Push down through your left hand and externally rotate your upper arm. Turn your bicep forward and out. But not so much that your index knuckle comes up. Push down through your right index knuckle. Stretch up through your left arm and then curl back. Do a back bend here. Remember that hamstring curl, do the hamstring curl here.
pull your right heel closer towards your butt. Then with your left hand, reach back, grab your right foot. Move your right hip back a little. Pull your right foot to your outer right hip. Keep them as close together as they are. Push your hips down and forward. Kick your foot in your hand, turn up. Push down through your right hand. Again, turn your bicep forward. Externally rotate your right arm. Look up. Lean your head back. Kick your foot in your hand. Push your pelvis down and forward. Twisted monkey. In Indonesia, they have the Ramayana story. We're actually on Jalan Ayodhya right now. The street, Jalan Ayodhya Gading, is named after Ayodhya, which was the home of Rama. And Hanuman was Rama's servant. They were both gods, but Hanuman dedicated himself to Rama and Sita. And this street is named after part of that story. A long, long time ago, the Hindus came to Indonesia and conquered it. That's why Bali still has a tradition of Hinduism, but it's a special Indonesian version. Okay, that's enough of that. Stretch your right arm, your left arm up. Untwist. Bring your hands back down to the mat. Come back to your hands and knees. Stretch your right leg back behind you. Come to your fingertips. Step your right foot forward. Come to the low lunge. Walk your left knee back. Place your left hand flat. Turn it out slightly. Stretch your right arm up. Bend your left knee. Point your toes. And stretch up, stretch up. Push down through your left hand. Turn your bicep forward to externally rotate your left arm, and then curl back. Reach back with your right hand. Do the hamstring curl in your left leg. Pull your heel towards your butt. Reach for the outer edge of your left foot. Move your left hip back a little. Pull your heel to your outer left hip. Push your pelvis down and forward, keeping your heel and hip close together. Push down through your left hand. Externally rotate your upper arm. And then curl back. Twisted monkey. Here on Lombok, there are also Hindu temples all over the place. It's a fascinating mix of cultures here. I can currently see Chinese lanterns hanging. You will probably hear the call to prayer from the mosques nearby before class is over. And there are Hindu temples scattered around the island. It's amazing to see the religions work together, live together in such a great way. And of course, we also have yoga here. Release. Bring your right hand down, left foot down. Step back to your hands and your knees. I want to make sure that we get enough thigh stretch, so Bakasana, frog pose. Step your legs back, come down onto your belly. Bring your right forearm in front of you. Lift your chest up like you're doing a modified cobra. Place your feet flat. Bend your left leg. Push through your right arm. Reach back with your left hand. Grab your foot. Just like we were doing in Twisted Monkey, pull your heel towards your outer hip. Look forward, stretch back for your left knee. Pull your heel towards your outer hip. If you're really flexible, you're going to slightly turn sideways so you can see. If you're really flexible here and you're not getting enough thigh stretch, and you've got your heel towards your outer hip, you can slide your elbow so that the crook of your elbow is at the top of your foot, and then really pull your heel towards your outer hip. Some of you might be able to get heel towards the ground. If your knee is lifting up though, stretch it back, stretch it back, stretch it back. It can come off the ground, that's fine. But stretch it back so you get more stretch. Pull your heel towards your outer hip. It's plenty for me. Release your leg. And switch sides. Bring your left forearm in front of you. Bend your right leg. Reach back with your right hand. Grab the top of your foot. So I place the heel of my hand at my toes. It just gives you a little more pressure here. Point your elbow back behind you, and then push with your hand to pull your heel towards your outer hip. Look forward and center your body as much as you can. Stretch it back for your right knee. Pull your heel towards your outer hip. And again, if you want a little more, you can slide your crook of your elbow to the top of your foot. Then you'll get a little more power to pull your heel outside your hip. Some of you might be able to get it to the ground. Stretch back through your right knee and push down through the top of your right leg. Bakasana is frog pose, so this is Ardha Bakasana. It's half frog. Carefully release. For a moment, child's pose. For this child's pose though, before you get into it, bring your knees together. I want to stretch your erector spinae and your glute muscles, your butt muscles. Your erector spinae are a set of 3 big muscles on either side of your spine that help you erect your spine. Eh? It says it right in the name. So knees together, round over your back, and stretch your arms out. Push with your hands, push down with your feet, round your back a little more, rest your forehead on the ground. Balasana, child's pose. A specific variation though to round your back and to stretch your erector spinae. This should also get you might not be able to feel the lengthening and stretching in your glutes, but this is helping get them to their maximum length so that we get some stretch. There's another thing that we can do. We'll work on that in a moment. Slide your hands back, sit up. So we did Gomukhasana arms earlier. Now we're going to do full Gomukhasana. So come up to your knees, separate your knees a bit. Bring your right knee to the middle of your mat. Step your left knee back and then slide it in behind your right knee. Bring it wider than your right knee. Place your feet on the ground. Separate your feet about hip distance apart. Walk back and sit down on the ground between your heels. You can always take your book or your block and place it under your left hip to help lift it up if you're really, really unbalanced here. That'll help you find a little more balance. This is a pose to help you stretch your glutes. If you touch your butt, you might feel that it's strong here. And it's really working to get its full length. That's because your legs are hugging in. Stretch your arms up. Bend your left arm. Grab your left elbow. I'm just going to adjust my knees a little bit and lessen the deepening of the knees. So I have a meniscus tear in my right knee. Some of you might remember I'm touching what looks like my left knee, but remember, it's really my right. I'm going to just adjust my foot a little to support it. So if you ever feel pain, not muscle stretch, pain, remember that you can modify. Grab your left elbow, pull it in towards the center of your body, push down on your elbow. Take your right arm, reach back, 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 clasp your hands. You can stay here, which I'm going to do, or you can fold forward over your legs and eventually round your back. I know that my right knee isn't going to like that, so I'm staying upright. You have to listen to your body and do what's best for you. Push down for your feet, sit up tall. Release your arms, switch sides. Walk your hands forward, untuck your left leg, And then place your left knee on the middle of your mat. Take your right knee back and behind and wedge it in behind. Place your feet flat, separate your feet enough that when you walk back, you can sit down between your heels. Again, if your right hip isn't coming down to the ground or you're having a lot of trouble with that, you could take your block or your book and place it under your right hip to help you find a little more balance. Stretch your arms up. Bend your right arm. Grab your right elbow with your left hand. Pull it into the middle of your body, then push down on your elbow. Push your hand into your back, release your left arm, reach back, reach back, reach back, bend your elbows, clasp your fingers. So we're doing in our arms what we did earlier, right? Gomukhasana arms, but we're now added the Gomukhasana legs. Means cow face pose. I don't really know how it looks like a cow face, but I like to think that it has something to do with how the cows chew. I don't know if you know how the cows chew and they like move their jaw all around while they're chewing up the grass, and it kind of, in my mind, looks like this. Something like that. So, I didn't do it on the first side because of my knee, but this side it's fine for me. So if you like, and you do it on the other side, and you want to fold forward, stretch your heart forward, stretch your heart forward, stretch your heart forward, and then round your back and fold over your leg. This is going to help stretch your erector spinae, those sets of muscles on either side of your spine, but also your gluteus muscles, the muscles around your butt. And we're going to want those working when we get to Ustrasana, which is coming up really, really soon. Before we get there though, we're going to move into bridge pose. If you folded forward, sit up. Release your arms. Walk your hands forward. Uncross your legs. Swing your legs to one side. Sit down and lie down. Bend your knees. Set up like bridge pose. Satipatthana Sarvangasana. We're going to do a modification of this. We're not going to do the hands interlaced behind our back. Bend your elbows. Push your shoulders down. Push your elbows down. Push your feet down. Lift your butt up. Now, I'm going to unroll my shirt a little bit, or roll my shirt, I guess I should say, so that you can see what I'm doing. So, actually, come down, look to the camera, and watch for a moment. What I want you to do is find your erector spinae muscles. So when you lift up, if you touch your spine, and then move really just beyond your spine, you'll feel muscles on either side. That's one of your 3 erector spinae muscles. It should be hard here when you've lifted up. And then if you go a little bit wider, you'll find a little divot, and then another muscle. That's a band of muscle running up your spine. That's another one of the erector spinae muscles. So that's 2 of them. There are 3 on each side, but these are the 2 that it's easiest to palpate. Okay, so now you do it. Set up like bridge pose, bend your elbows, push your elbows, shoulders, feet down. Lift your pelvis up. Now take your fingers, touch your spine in the middle, and then already you'll be able to feel just beyond your fingers there's this hard thing. Well, that's one of your erector spinae muscles. So touch it. Slide your fingers out from your spine slightly and feel that muscle. Lift up more and you'll start to feel it protrude a little bit more. Now, keep going a little bit wider and the muscle will go down and then there'll be a little divot. Go a little bit wider and you should start to feel another muscle hardening. It won't be as obvious as that first erector spinae muscle, but there's another one there. These are the muscles that help you straighten your spine, but also take it into extension, or what we call back bend. Lower your hips. Stretch your legs out. Straighten your arms at your sides. Just a little centering in Supta Tadasana. Flex your feet. Push your shoulders down here. Lift your sternum up. That's not how I would normally instruct Supta Tadasana, but here I want to start you getting your shoulders down and lifting your sternum up. Push your pelvis down. Don't lift your belly up. My ribs are lifting up a bit here, so Remember when we touched our ribs at the front at the beginning of class, move the front of your ribs back, lift your sternum up. Try to separate that action. And then relax. It's nice, isn't it? It's rare in an adventure yoga class that I ever say relax. It's usually just in Shavasana. Bend your knees, roll to the right. It's going to look like I'm rolling to my left. And sit up. Kneel up. Come to your knees. I'm going to turn sideways so that you can see it a little better if you're watching. Place your feet flat. Place your hands on your pelvis. Point your elbows back. Push down through your feet. Push your pelvis forward. Touch the front of your ribs. Move your ribs in a little bit. Keep that. Bring your hands back to your pelvis. Tone your pelvic floor. Engage your Mula Bandha. Draw your belly in and up. Engage your Uddiyana Bandha. Touch your sternum with one hand and lift your sternum up. Keep touching your sternum with that hand. Touch the front of your ribs with your other hand. Move them back a little. Lift your sternum up. Bring your hands back to your rib or your pelvis. Push your pelvis forward. Lift your sternum up. Lengthen through your neck. And curl your torso back. Reach for your heels. And if you can grab your heels, grab your heels. Tone your pelvic floor. Mula Bandha. Draw your belly in and up. Uddiyana Bandha. Move your ribs back. Lift your sternum up. Your erector spinae and your gluteus muscles will be working a lot here. Lengthen through your neck. Look up. Ustrasana. Push your feet down. Push your pelvis forward. Lift through your sternum to lift up. Child's pose. Bring your feet together. Fold over your legs. Walk your arms in. Walk your hands back to your knees. Sit up. Move your legs to one side. Sit on your heels. Place your feet on the ground in front of you. Place your hands back behind you. Lift your feet up. Take your left foot underneath your right leg. Cross your right leg over top. Set up for Ardha Matsyendrasana. Move your hips a little bit to the left. Stretch your arms up. Twist to the right. Hook your left arm outside your right leg. Take your right hand, place it on the ground behind you. Push down through your right hand, push down through your left arm. Sit up tall and twist. Ardha Matsyendrasana. Lengthen through your neck. Move your chin back a little to help engage the muscles in your neck. Stretch your arms up and come back to center. Touch your fingertips to the ground behind you. Lean back. Tina Turner your legs. Change them in the air and switch sides. Move your pelvis a little bit to the right. Stretch your arms up. Twist to the left. Hook your right arm outside your left leg. Touch your left hand to the ground. Push down for your left hand, push down for your right arm, sit up tall, and twist. Ardha Matsyendrasana. It's nice to get some twist in our spine before we do more back bends. Helps us find a little more fluidity and movement in the discs between our vertebrae. Because that means more back bends. Stretch your arms up and untwist. Bring your hands down, lean back. Stretch your legs out in front of you. Bring your legs over to one side. Come onto your knees. Have your knees hip distance apart. Place your feet flat on the ground. Ustrasana, round 2. Place your hands on your pelvis, push your feet down, push your pelvis forward. Tone your Mula Bandha, pelvic floor, draw your belly in and up, Uddiyana Bandha, point your elbows back. Move your ribs back, lift your sternum up. Curl back, reach for your feet. Push your pelvis forward, but don't jut your ribs forward. Move the front of your ribs back and lift your sternum up, look up. Tighten up your butt, lengthen through your back. Ustrasana, Camel Pose. Push down through your feet. Push your pelvis forward, move your ribs back, move your sternum up. Lengthen through your neck. If you can stay here and remove your hands from your feet, do that. Bring your hands to your belly. Place one hand on your sternum. Lift your chest up. Or just lift your sternum to come up. Bring your feet together. Sit on your heels. Stretch your arms out. Balasana, child's pose. Walk your hands back, sit up, stay seated on your heels, and watch. I told you that at the beginning and in the note that this class was inspired by a video that Noah Mazé shared on his, I can't remember if it was his Noah Mazé yoga page or his personal page, but it was a flashback video, throwback video to the class that he was teaching in the old studio in LA at La Brea and Beverly. And it inspired me to bring you this today. So that my feet are on the mat, but you can see, I'm going to turn my mat up slightly. Move the ant away so I don't crush it. And just to warn you, I haven't tried this today, so we'll see how it goes. Like Ustrasana, but slightly different, I'm going to have you touch the backs of your legs. First, we're going to come into Ustrasana, then we'll come up a little, touch the backs of our legs. Watch, you'll see what happens. Do all of that good work. Pelvic floor, Mula Bandha, belly in and up, Uddiyana Bandha, ribs back, sternum up. Curl back, grab your feet. Stretch in Ustrasana. Then come up a little, touch the backs of your legs. Push your legs back into your hands, push down with your feet, and curl back. Lift up through your sternum, curl back. Lift up through your sternum, curl back. Lift up through your sternum, child's pose. That's round 1. Your turn. I'll walk you through it, and I'll do it with you, don't worry. Kneel up, feet flat. Place your hands on your pelvis, point your elbows back behind you. Turn your Mula Bandha, turn your Uddiyana Bandha, move your ribs back, lift your sternum up. Push your pelvis forward, curl up and back, Ustrasana. Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, ribs back, sternum up. Tighten up your butt, engage your erector spinae. Then lift up a little, take your hands to the back of your thighs. Push your thighs back into your hands, lower your pelvis back, curl back, come up. Curl back, bend your knees, come up. One more, curl back, bend your knees, lift through your sternum, come up. Bring your feet together, sit on your heels, stretch your arms out, fun times. Walk your hands back, sit up. Bring your knees together, sit up tall. So in the video that Noah shared, they were doing what we sometimes call pigeon droppings. They're doing what we just did, but going all the way back and touching your head to the mat, and then coming back up again. It was really amazing to watch the group doing that because it's something that I've never been able to do in my practice. Partly because I don't practice it very often. It's really hard on my thighs though. It's really exhausting. So instead of that variation, we're going to do Ustrasana dropbacks, which is why we did all that great shoulder work at the beginning. So just to make sure our shoulders are open, let's do a little bit more. Interlace your fingers behind your back, shrug your shoulders, and straighten your arms back behind you. Lift your hands, move the front of your ribs back, lift your sternum up. Move your shoulders down. Squeeze your shoulders together, lift your hands a little higher. Release your hands. Roll your shoulders, shake them out. Remember there's two sides to interlacing your fingers, so do the awkward interlace and do the same thing. Point your elbows back, lift your hands, move your shoulders down, move the front of your ribs back, lift your hands higher. Stay here and stretch your shoulders while I show you Ustrasana dropbacks. Now again, this is something I haven't practiced today. Doesn't always go well on my first attempt, so be prepared to laugh as I fall. But I'm going to do my best, see what happens. Start in Ustrasana, but don't bring your hands to your feet. Take your hands up. Curl back. Stretch your arms straight. Touch the ground. Push through your hands. And it's not going to happen right now. I'm not going to come back up. I can just feel it coming back down. Probably because I entered that with a bad attitude, right? So we'll see what happens. Let's do it together. Release your hands. Come up to your knees. My neck is a little sore today from some uncomfortable sleeping, so that might be part of it. But I don't really need excuses. It's hard work. We do our best, and we see what we can do today, see what we can do tomorrow. All right. Last back bend. You don't have to do the drop back. You can do Ustrasana. You can place your hands behind your thighs and curl back as much as you're able to. Remember, Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, ribs back, sternum up. Hands on your hips, push your pelvis forward, curl up and back. Instead of reaching for your feet, bring your hands inside your head, lift your sternum up, curl back, lean back, straighten your arms and go all the way back. My neck, my back aren't feeling it. It's as much as I got today. If you got down, push with your hands, get a little bounce, and maybe push through your feet and come all the way back up. Bring your feet together, sit on your heels, stretch your arms out, child's pose. Round your back. Walk your hands back. Sit up. Cross your legs. Now, I actually really like it when, as the teacher, I can't necessarily do everything that day. I want you to know that, look, I'm a human. I'm doing my best. I'm working with what I've got. And I'm working on improving my skills, my awareness, and my abilities in yoga, in life. I can give you the reasons, I've given you a few of them, why that's a challenge for me. But really, yoga is challenging. Yoga is there to challenge us because life is challenging. And yoga helps us remember that if we put in the work and we don't get too frustrated when we maybe do what we think of as fail, then we can get back on the mat the next day, do some more work, and see how we can improve, little by little, day by day. do a little twist. Vajrasana. Come to your knees. Move your feet over to the right. Place your right foot on top of your left foot. Move your hips over to the left and bring your hips down to the ground. I like the double-sided twist on this. So let's go to the right first. Hold your right knee with your left hand. Touch your right hand to the ground behind you. And twist to the right. Look over your left shoulder. So it's a double-sided twist the way I like it. So come back to center. Take your right hand above your left knee. Touch your left hand to the ground. And twist to the left. My tendency is to lean back here. Makes the twist less, to sit up and twist. Come back to center. Walk your hands in front of you and lift your hips. Swing your feet over to the left. Place your left foot on top of your right foot. Move your hips a little bit to the right. Walk back. Bring your hips down to the ground. Take your right hand. Hold your left knee. Take your left hand to the ground. Twist to the left and then look over your right shoulder. This is quite hard for me. It's the right side of my neck. It looks like I'm touching the left side, but it's really the right side. I've pulled one of the muscles there at the back of my neck. Which is why that drop back in Ustrasana is really challenging for me, because I can't get the back bend happening as much as I normally could. But we work with what we got. We do our best. Come back to center. Take your left hand. Hold above your right knee. Take your right hand to the ground behind you. And twist to the right. Come back to center. Swing your legs out in front of you. Bend your knees. Grab the outer edges of your feet. Stretch your spine long and bring your chest to your thighs. Most of you know by now this is my favorite way to get into Paschimottanasana these days. Let's just stay here for a minute. Relax your head between your knees. Round your neck. Flex your neck. Pull on your feet. Push your feet in your hands. You can stay here, great place to be. Or walk your feet away from you some. Ribs on your legs. Front of your chest on the front of your legs. Relax your head. Shake your head from side to side a little. Walk your feet away from you, maybe a little more, but keep your chest and thighs touching. You might be able to go all the way to straight legs, chest and thighs touching. Good for you if you can, good for you if you can't. Just do your best. Pull on your feet. Stretch your spine long. Relax your neck. Hold your feet, lift your head and chest, sit up. This yoga stuff is hard, right? It's hard, and what I mean by that right now is that in my head, I'm beating myself up about that Ustrasana drop back. I love Ustrasana drop backs, and it's something that I really enjoy doing in my practice, but because I know that this is like out there in the world for everybody to see, my ego is like eating away at me and saying, "Ah, Stephen, you let everybody down." And I teach how important it is that we do our best. And we do our best that day, and that the days are different. And what is our best each day is different depending on our circumstances, depending on the weather, depending on how we slept the night before. And I really believe that, but I also know how challenging it is because inside us there's ego. And ego isn't necessarily a bad thing. A lot of yoga will teach you that you should let go of your ego completely. Your ego can help you push to do better and to keep progressing. Like, my ego is telling me, okay, you need to work on your neck a little more, be a little more careful about looking after yourself. Last night I moved the thick pillow away and just used my travel pillow to help get my neck back to being comfortable and not having a strain. I let you know this because I want you to know that I'm going through the same struggles that you go through. Always. We're struggling to overcome not just our conceptions of what people think we should be, but also what we think we should be. You're perfect. You're perfect inside. It doesn't matter how you are on the outside. What matters is that you do your best in the moment. Lie down. Bend your knees. We're going to do a gentle bridge pose. Bend your knees, place your feet on the ground. Bend your elbows. Lift your pelvis up. Interlace your fingers underneath. You tuck your shoulders in a little. Push your feet down. Push your shoulders down. Lift your sternum up. Lift your hips up. This is a really good stretch for your neck, the back of your neck. It really feels great for me right now. After class, I'll do some more neck work. At the studio here, they've got hard, small balls, like lacrosse balls, that some of you know I travel with. I'll use those to help roll out the muscles in my neck a little bit. It's all about doing what you can do today, not worrying about what you did yesterday. Do your best today. That's all we can do. Release your hands, lower your pelvis. Bring your knees into your chest. Supta Balasana, Ananda Balasana, blissful child's pose. Bring your knees into your chest. Rock from side to side a little bit. Rock back and forth a little bit. Maybe do little circles on your lower back. So to do that, move your knees away from your chest, hold the fronts of your knees, and then on your sacrum, do little circles. If you're doing that, go the other direction. Bring your feet to the ground. Stretch your legs out. Supta Tadasana, straighten your legs, straighten your arms, tuck your shoulders in. Separate your feet as wide as your mat, roll your feet out. Separate your arms at your side, turn your palms up. Set up for Shavasana. Close your eyes. Relax your breath. Relax your whole body. Spend a few minutes here resting with yourself. Deepen your breath. Move your fingers and your toes. Move your wrists and your ankles. Stretch your arms overhead. Stretch your legs out in front of you. Stretch your spine. Stretch your whole body. Breathe fully. Bend your knees. Place your feet on the ground. Roll onto your right side, your right arm. Place your left hand on the ground for support. Pause there. Check in with how you feel. With your eyes closed, use your arms, your torso, and lift yourself up. And come to a seated position with your eyes closed. Bring your hands to Anjali Mudra. Sit up tall. Breathe. It's yoga practice, not yoga perfect. It's practice. We do our best. We work to be happy with our best. It is work, though. Because we feel like other people are watching. When we're in class, and there are students all around us, we feel like they can see us. But really, they're busy working on their own struggles, working on their own ego, working on their own practice. It's about doing your best, not someone else's. Thanks for practicing today. Thanks for doing your best. See you next week. Namaste. Thanks, everybody. If you've got any questions, you can send me a private message if you want to keep them private, or you can put them in the comments below this class, and we can begin a little conversation about things that came up in class, things that are coming up in your practice. We'll do class again next week, probably a little bit later in the day so that some of you are awake for class. I know that this is just cutting it close for people being awake in Europe, so try and do it a little bit later in the day next week if it fits the schedule with the studio here. Anyway, thanks for joining me. Had a great class. I hope you have too. See you soon.